just a lovely, lovely bloke. I'd use the word gentleman because everybody else will, because that's truly what he was.
Just the ultimate gentleman. Like, kind of, he's just, you know, if you saw a gentleman, that was Gerard. You know, that the meaning of a gentleman, it was just Gerard.
Legend, top and bottom of it. To be honest, for me and Chris Greaves first came to it was brilliant because he was like, he just always thought quite highly of it.
Just a pleasure to be with, to be honest. Just fun guy. We bought a car, Daisy, a yellow sedan, to share for the first season. But I think the first time that I wasn't the driver, I was like, no, I don't like this. So pretty soon we ended up getting a second car and did it for the next 4 or 5 years, I think. And I think for whatever reason we then had to ease off a bit. Money probably, but yeah, that's where we started. Loved it. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. The Nationals was too serious for us, and ultimately because it was serious it became expensive, and bizarrely, although we're at the other end of the country, booking ahead I could get flights up here and be back, if I got it right I could be back home watching telly at 10:30 on a Sunday night from here, whereas I could be arriving at 1 o'clock and got a truck to unload if I was racing in the Nationals, you know. It sounds weird but it just works. We had gone through the process of looking after our own cars for a couple of years and just terrible, awful. I hated every minute of it and I was terrible at it. So Scotland, just loved it. And I love this track. You know, I still have not got bored with this track. It's just fantastic. I'd rather be having some fun battle, especially with somebody you know you can trust. So I certainly couldn't say to you, I've got to be top 3, otherwise it's a bad weekend. I'm going to have fun, and it's a good weekend. Definitely front. I was definitely at the last lap, just driving along, hands off the wheel, and confident. Did you hear it?
I don't hear that anymore.
No, okay. It was loud. From when I was a child, I was going stock car racing with my dad. Dad was racing down south, bangers, hot rods, stock cars. It was all I knew and all I wanted to do, really. You know, apart from that and playing football, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, I loved it.
When did you first meet Gerard?
well, I can't say for sure, but I guarantee it'd have been the very first meeting, and he'd have been taking the mickey out of me and prodding me and just all those Gerard things, and having fun with us in a gentle way. Magnificently fun. He absolutely accepted people taking the mickey out of him. He took the mickey out of everybody. He wound everybody up. We all wound him up. Just a pleasure to be with, to be honest. Just fun guy.
Right, folks. Obviously, I need a signature from everyone, please, before you leave. Very last thing. Today is someone's birthday, Mr. John Holden's birthday, and on Wednesday is Glennie's 60th. So a quick happy birthday. We've got late 60s, sweet cheeks. Right, guys, if you could quickly just.
Glenn Burtenshaw is probably the easiest driver in the whole paddock to work with. He's very methodical on how he puts across what his car is actually doing underneath him. Yeah, he's very good to work with, very good indeed. Glenn's attitude is very, very similar to McCosh. So laid back, yeah, darling, I'll be down in a minute, and that type of thing. So yeah, he's so laid back, it's unbelievable.
Rolling start then for Legends. Day 2 of our meeting here at Knockhill, and very fondly remembering Gerard McCosh. And there is Gerard's car, safely being looked after now by Glenn Burtenshaw in the 72 number, as opposed to the 69 that Gerard raced for most of his career. Alongside there is Mark Holland, 21, immediately ahead. Number 6 of Gary Atkinson, and are we going to see if pigs can fly? They do. Away we go. Ronald Wilkinson is passed already by Glenn Burtenshaw. That is Neil Shenton to the outside. Shenton making up space already. Ryan McLeish in 71, the white car, making plenty of moves. Grant Hunter in the mix as well in 27. Matthew Paping 24 is there as well. Neil Shenton, I think maybe a little bit of contact for Shenton in the sedan, goes on the grass, gets back on. I think he's recovered. It's really first lap sort out, you've got to say, a regular thing in Legends. Remember the draw is made for grid positions, balloting grid positions, early lap sort out. Glenn being drawn 22nd for this one. Look at that, 3-4 wide as they go along. Is it Railway Bend or Railway Straight? I always call it Straight, there is a curve in it. As Matthew Pate goes through, Glenn on the inside of Grant Hunter as well. There is the 72 car, Napoleon proudly looking back as ever he does on the 72 car. And I think Leg's having a little bit of a flat here, having a go to get position is Gary Atkinson, who's going to look down the inside. Here's the view forward facing from Glenn as we go down Dumpers. And then look at that super move, great racing by Gary Atkinson and Glenn as they went down Duffers through Leslie's into McIntyre's now coming up into Butchers. Then we go into the chicane for the second time. Really good, clean, tidy lines. Circuit's looking absolutely mint, isn't it? Always does, but with the blue skies and sunshine really adding to the atmosphere here today out of Clark Curve. So, fourth race of the weekend. We were racing anti-clockwise yesterday, and these 3 races bring us to the halfway point of the 2025 season. Then taking a lovely wide line on the run up into Taylor's the hairpin. We go uphill. Straight again. Still it is 6 of Gary Atkinson in front. What did Glenn do about him? He's having to go wide here. It's David Heeden in front, the fluorescent coloured car, and now that's left a gap. So Glenn's going to go up the inside. You can see all the cars still very tightly bunched, very evenly matched. Now David Heeden is going to be the target for Glenn. Takes a wide line at Clark Curve. Is he going to lose some momentum here? Runs a little bit, perhaps a bit too wide maybe. hasn't lost too much. And David Heaton, the former Scottish saloon and sports car driver, had a great pleasure commentating on those back in the day. And he's left a gap, and Glenn's going to go hard on the brakes through on the inside. Great move by Glenn Burtenshaw on David Heaton. I was about to say, David, of course, having moved over from a multi-car and multi-mark championship into a one-maker, a great move to make, but he's done it well. And he's coming back, he's having a look now at the inside, under the Vincent's Bridge, down into Duffus Dip they go. Gary Anderson coming up to play as well. David gets a little bit sideways. Now here is Glenn again. This time it's LB Clark on the outside. So Glenn side by side with LB Clark. The great race these two are having. LB's other half, Daniel Clark, the 2020 National Legends champion, is away and up at the front of the field. I think Dyson at home with Brian McLeish and Ben Mason. And LB will have her sights very firmly focused on, no she won't, I was going to say on the gig, but she's going to go and make the pass here. Goes to the outside as they come down through the tri-oval section into Taylor's Head. We've got Dyson going on behind. LB runs out wide. It's a brave move to go down the outside, gets everything corrected, and now stops to climb up the hill to see whether there's a little bit of a toe to be had. Tell you what, LB's closing up here. And now he's going to make the move to the inside, pulls away to the inside as he goes under the bridge, into Duffus. LB Clark takes the position away from Clarence for 14th place. Glenn's going to fight back though as they go down into McIntyre's, can't quite do it. Great move by LB Clark. Did some racing in the Nationals a few seasons ago. And a very capable Legends driver. Full field of car, 28 drivers taking part today. You can see why they booked in even before the weather was booked, but yeah, great racing here. Now, can Glenn get back on terms with LB? On railway we go. He's taking a wider line here, could give him momentum up the straight. He's going to go for the inside, dives down the inside. Wonderful, clean racing again. We saw it with David Heaton on Glenn, we see it with LB and Glenn. There was room there. LB was very aware that he was going to go for it. Now, will LB go back to the inside and repass? No, it's the outside. So a different move here. Glenn had the inside, I think, covered to some degree, but that's left a gap on the outside for Clark to have a go. No, can't quite do it, doesn't have the momentum, but no doubt will chase again. Not too many opportunities left because we're on the last lap of the race of the day. Glenn having come up 22nd starting, is up into 14th position. LB Clark at the moment is in 15th. Daniel Clark leading the race from Ryan McLeish, but wherever you are, there are races to be had. Out of Clark for the last time. Still got more climbing to do here at the Montfort Circuit as they go along Railway. Coming down in towards Taylor's the hairpin, and Glenn's going to have to defend from LB. Pulls across there as we look back over to the left-hand side of shot to cover a gap on the inside. The gap is not there, and I think Glenn's going to hold on to the place. He's going to try and close down on Bill Reid immediately ahead, but we look back. Populescu is in behind as well in the 95, but coming up towards the flag, and Glenn's going to take the place just from LB Clark, who again got a super run up the hill, but Glenn was just there as they crossed the flag. Glenn taking 14th place, race win going to LB's other half, Daniel Clark.
In Scotland, it's still got what I would describe as what was the legend spirit. People will help you if you're stuck, and people do care that you're going to be out for the next race, definitely. And we see it as we're all going out to play together, that sort of thing. It might not be everybody, of course, and that's understandable, but there is a spirit to it, which counts.
You know, you struggle to get out of the corner once it's into the mid-race, off it goes. Yeah, I'm going to take it there for a second.
Had a brilliant race. I was playing with Gary Atchison for several laps, and then for the last 3 laps I think I was playing with LB, and just brilliant. We just overtake all the way around the lap. Never really held each other up, but just had so much fun. Fantastic. The hitbox is coming away. I know, but it's not like paper chocolates, like basically paper chocolate. It was definitely the back end, that's why I was like.
Whenever we did our Brands Hatch as the Scottish group, racing from the back at Brands Hatch, and we always have our own little competition. Myself, Gerard, Robin, and whoever else was there, and we would run our own competition through the week. And I loved it when I was beating him, and he lost interest because I was beating him. That was heavenly. That was a better than any win. Secondly, I remember him pouring fuel into the back of his car with his fag ashes just dropping over the fuel tank. Unbelievable. But actually the biggest was we were at Pembury, and he had got all the way down there and realised he had forgotten his false teeth. And I couldn't even look at him. It looked shocking, but utterly hilarious. And I think he had that, I know I haven't got my false teeth in, so he was just coming and looking at me like that. Absolutely playing on it.
Gerard liked a cigarette, and we actually, for a laugh, stuck an ashtray in the tunnel of his race car, and he actually sat there, had a cigarette in the holding area, put it out and handed me the ashtray back, and then drove off.
He was a great man, wasn't he? He was. Sorry, I'm being distracted by the pig next to us. I'll resume. No, yeah, he's a great miss. Just a lovely bloke. I'll use the word gentleman because everybody else will, because that's truly what he was, on the track and off the track. When he was awake, he liked to sleep after a race, cigarette and a sleep. So, but he's truly missed, certainly.
Yeah, well, when I started in Legends nearly 20 years ago on and off, and Gerard was there then, and he was there till the end, I know. Really nice guy, old guy, chilled out guy. He gave you advice, he helped you out, and he was always chilling out, eating an ice cream. Just a lovely bloke, and it's taken too soon, so it's good that we can do this today, put a bit of an effort on for him, and hopefully he's watching, and he'll make me get a good result in this race.
Oh, Gerard was absolutely amazing. I think the thing for me was he was really wanting new drivers to succeed, so he would tell you very honestly if you were in the wrong place or if you got too close to him, and he was really supportive and just great fun to be around, so he's a great miss.
I don't know when Gerard first had his big pink, it was pink, Napoleon. I don't know when, maybe he had it from day one, I'm not too sure. But I know, and it's a long time ago, when I'm sure it was when he retired in theory from racing, and then he came back. But when he retired, I remember Phil Cooper went somewhere to a warehouse and just bought a pink pig for all of us to put on the back of the car, and we just all hung on to them. And my dog's got mine. I know Edwin, Robin's son, has got Robin's one. I think everybody's still got their little Napoleons.
There is the main man, the main Napoleon at the moment, and as you can see, Glenn is lining up 6 on the grid. And familiar drivers around him because it's a reverse grid, so the same drivers we saw at the start of race 1 are there in race 2. As we go lights out here, not as blue as sky, we've got a little bit of cloud build up here, and getting very well stuck in there is Ryan McLeish in 71, looking to make ground up already. Frantic early stages of the second Legends Cars race. Atkinson right behind us again. There in the 85 is Mark Beattie, who had lovely words to say on the grid about Gerard. I think he meant about Glenn as well. And 733 going off, that is Keith Atkinson. I say going off, he's got back on, I'm pretty sure. Chris Wallace in the number 7 will be Glenn's target, and there'll be so many cars. As I say, there are plenty of races to be had for learners and long-term races like Glenn as well. And a second generation race, I've probably mentioned many times over the broadcast with his dad Alan, or Al, Big Al as we knew him back in the day, raced very successfully, multi-champion on the short ovals was Glenn's dad, in different formula as well. Here comes Ben Mason though in the 27, and 3 wide they go. Ben doesn't care, and the multi-champion down the inside. Ben past Glenn. He did, for goodness sake. Ben Mason makes a move, good clean stuff from Ben. 3rd place in race number 1. It's not all about race wins, of course, in Legends. It's about the points that you can bag. There's Michael Weddell, former mini champion here in Scotland as well. Absolutely. And the other thing that strikes me about these cars is the liveries right the way down the grid are absolutely stunning, and great driving through on the climb up through Clark Curve, slices through again, really good driver awareness. They all want to take the cars home. Actually, Glenn doesn't take his home because he flies up from Forest Row in Sussex, and that's testament to the championship, how far he travels and how regularly and for how long he has done that, and thoroughly enjoys himself. So coming down into Duffus again, we've got a couple of cars having issues there. One of those coming back on is Mark Mulholland. Michael Weddell read that very well indeed. A little bit of backing off from Michael there, realises that to assess where that car is before he will attack again. Now he's starting to build the momentum again, as is Glenn in this second race. They've started 6 at the moment, actually holding position relatively well. Weddell makes the move and goes through. Mark Mulholland is the next target for Glenn, who finds a gap on the inside, or does he? No, I tell you what, it's some great racing going on. Glenn thinks instead about going to the outside, that's a wide line into the hairpin, and will use the momentum, a faster exit, to make the move and go through. Under the distance bridge we go. This battle continues. Great thing about Knockhill for these cars as well. Legends cars, of course, now, goodness only knows how many years we've been watching Legends racing, but the cars have stayed the same. They have got faster, but they haven't got bigger. They have not outgrown the tracks as many formerly have. That's one of the key things about this wonderful racing. Through we go. Bit of dust kicked up, a really huge problem. As we look back what's going on behind, Glenn will always have one eye on what's going on behind as well as what's going on up front. Former champion Colin Atkinson making a move here. Aki raced the number 46, I think it was, in the championship of the year. Neatly down the inside for Colin Atkinson, and Colin is going to be the next driver to have a go. But Mark Mulholland up front. So Colin through. Glenn will try and remount the challenge for sure. Get very close behind as they come uphill again. Race of today. As ever, the points will be added together from races 1 and 2, giving us the bridge for the final. The top scorers at the back. Aki goes through, makes the move, passes Mark Mulholland. Really good move there. Getting in towards the closing stages of this one. Mark Beattie going through as well in the, I've got to say, another super livery. The Tech 3 looks absolutely resplendent. Blue skies again in the background, which is good. So hopefully things will stay gorgeous weather-wise for race number 3 and grand final, as Mark Beattie really getting a go on here. Is he going to be able to make the move in a Park Lane cars machine? Down the inside, Mark, veteran of national and Scottish legends. Remember him making his debut in Chris Creeve's car in one of the National Legends Winter Championships with Brands Hatch many years ago, and still loves his racing and stay with it. That's the thing about it. Everybody stays with the formula over the years. A few drivers do not get many come back, and many stay all the way with it as well. Looking back, Mark Mulholland is behind Glenn. At the moment, he's going to have another go here. Tries to get through on the inside, he does, and Glenn just has a little bit of a knock up. The car not looking too happy at that stage as they go uphill again. He's going to be on to the last lap. Mulholland is going to be passed again. We've got Mark Beattie at the moment ahead in green in 7th place. Glenn just challenging for 8th. He's going to make his way through. Perhaps the curve there. Gets the position back, but nothing is set here, is it, at all? Gary Atkinson now challenging for 9th, trying to close in on the 21 car. Barely seen with Napoleon flapping around at the moment. Oh, sideways flick there by Mark Mulholland. Doesn't seem to have lost too much ground. But Gary Atkinson trying to close in on him. Mark in turn is closing up on Glenn as they go into Clark Curve. Through Railway they go for the last time, heading down towards Taylor's hairpin. Glenn again, as he did with Elby in the first race, just defending that inside line in the last lap. But here comes Atkinson having a look as well. Mulholland sees that, dives back in, but he's outbraked himself, runs a little bit wide. And Atkinson goes up the inside, but it's going to be Glenn Burtenshaw coming through for 8th across the line. He's behind Mark Beattie. Beattie got 7th. Gary Atkinson in 9th. The race win that time goes to right in the finish afterwards. Very quick start. Ben Mason Whitfield for 2nd. Matthew Pape 3rd. Good fun race. Exciting. There was a lot around me all the time, and there was a lot of ooh, this could be messy, and it wasn't. I made places, lost places, fast boys came through, that's fine, and had good battles with a couple of people. I think Gary Atkinson I had fun with, and Mark Mulholland, who I haven't played with before. We had fun racing, good fun. And it was louder when I backed off a bit.
Yeah, it definitely was, wasn't it? Looking at the top 10, I would say all 10, but to point a few out, Ben Mason, a very, very close friend of Gerard's as well. He's up for it. Ryan McLeish, she's quick. And again, it's all going to come down to how the first and second heats go, and then the final. But no, Michael Weddle, he's quick just now as well, and he's in a 4-cylinder. He can pedal a car. It's going to be down to the way the cookie crumble who actually wins it, but everyone wants to get their hands on that trophy.
Have a crash steering wheel?
No. Try to be out this time.
Thank you.
Out of the holding area for the last time in Gerald McCosh Trophy Day, and what a treat to be riding along with Gerard's wonderful 69 car, but with the number 72, Glenn Burt. I mentioned his dad actually used to race 720, so even numbers are kept on in families. And there is the 72 car, starting 14th here, so pretty much mid-grid in terms of what's gone on today. We've got Murray Scott behind Glenn in the 51, the 95 is Maxim Populeshko, who raced with us in the Nationals last year, team car. And good to see Max back home in Scotland with us. Shared the car with Steve Whiteleg, if I remember correctly. But we're looking for lights out on a slightly longer final race, and away we go. And it is the halfway point of the championship about to be reached with the conclusion of this race. As we look ahead, Jamie Blake immediately ahead of us, making a great run there is Jonty Norman in the 43. Jonty having a very good start, driver who cut his teeth in the National Championship with a shared car with Mick Mercer. I think it's probably the most regular shared driver. A superstar, very busy. Populeshko in front of us. There is Mark Mulholland. Interesting to hear Glenn saying in the interviews that he hasn't really raced too much, or gone wheel to wheel with Mark, but very clearly enjoying it in race number 1. And Mark's enjoying this one because he's ahead as they go into Clark Curve for the first time. Really on the pace is that 21. And again, a really good, clean livery on that car, and easy for the commentators to spot the numbers. So thank you very much indeed, Mark, for that. Here come the cars then, down the straight for the first time. Remember, this is a reverse grid, so we've got the cars that haven't scored so well. Starting further up the order. Oh, was that a bit of contact on Glenn? And a spin. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that is so easy to happen when you've got the faster cars coming through the pack in the early stages of the race. Michael Weddle in front in 77. Now, Glenn Burtenshaw would be forgiven for thinking 77 is Robin Weddle's long-time car sharer and sparring partner. Different colour to Robin's car. Nice to see Robin here this weekend as they go past Robin Wilkinson, so making good progress here. Michael Weddle's made the move across from minis with ease, where we're going from front drive to rear. Scottish minis, plenty of jostling to be had in that, as the errant car doesn't interfere with the traffic coming past. We've got some great racing going on at the front, and Grant Hunter getting stuck in there. Grant in second position at the moment. Matthew Pape behind Glenn as well. Colin Atkinson in the number 9 Supreme cars here. Oh, and looks like we've got a safety car. Now, has Glenn seen the sign? Probably not. He probably thought they were getting ready for takeoff, but we've got an early safety car in our final, which will just give everyone a chance to get into single file and get cracking once again. We are racing again here at Knockhill, so a brief safety car interlude, and it's got everybody into single file order. That's sometimes a very welcome thing to happen after a frenetic start, but immediately they get jostling and 2-3 wide on the restart. Ben Mason goes for a flyer around the outside. He's got ahead of Glenn. He's going to try and clear 333. Bill Reid, another former national Legends driver, thoroughly enjoying himself here at Knockhill Circuit. And there goes Ben. This is going to be in the Cresta car, and it's a Cresta run, isn't it? Yeah, I know, I've used that pun many times before. Matthew Pape trying to close him down, so Ben did a lovely move around the outside of Glenn, inside of Bill Reid. Pape is following Matthew Pape, then Colin Atkinson in car number 9, and it's going to leave Glenn and Bill Reid to have a little bit of a dice of it. And again, great livery, really super colour schemes here. I don't know if you've seen the rules that you've got to have bright colours, but I think one of the nicest looking grids that I've seen. And Glenn through on the inside of Bill Reid, makes it through. We've got a car off to the outside again, hazard flags there. You can see how effective the LEDs are now for the drivers, and that they can see them. Whether we'll get another safety car remains to be seen. Race leader clear. I'll tell you what, having come through well here, is Jonty Norman. He's well clear. Well, he's not clear. He's in second position. The leader's clear. And a massive sort out going on here. Amongst that was Stuart Robertson in the 53. But how the drivers managed to... Oh, okay, so arms out the window again. Safety car is being deployed for the second time. So again, an opportunity to slow things down. I say Jonty Norman had an absolute flyer. He's running superbly at the top end of the standings as we go green again. So again, in towards the closing stages of our third and final race of the day, the 6th race of the weekend here at Knockhill Circuit. Starting 14th, has made a little bit of progress, and he's going to make some more here. Stuart McAndrew in the 55. They're being diced with at the moment. Green LED showing right the way around the track. The green flags. I was sceptical of the lighting signals as they came out, but when you see them from beyond, you can actually get a much better view of them than you would otherwise. There's Daniel Clark, who had a great race earlier on, won race number 1 of the day, and as a result having to start behind the midfield runners which Glenn was part of at the start of this one, so he's making really good progress at the moment. Jonty Norman in the 43 having a good run as well, and here is the pack which Glenn is very much involved in. Jamie Blake in the 97, Matthew Pape in the mix as well. We've got quick drivers scattered throughout the grid here. Let's see what Glenn can do about Matthew Pape at the moment. Matthew's always been a quick driver, whether he's been in the Nationals or up here at Knockhill Circuit. He's running wide here is Matthew, trying to get on terms with Stuart McCaffrey in 55. Glenn in the mix as well. And we've got Jamie Blake in the 97. This is for the group of them, all fighting around sort of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th place. Let's see what Glenn can do. We are into the closing stages of this one, so Matthew Pape in 8th place, Glenn in 9th. Up ahead of them is Mark Mulholland again, so not too far away from his sparring partner from race number 2. I don't think he's going to get close enough in the last 2/3 of the lap here for this weekend before he flies back home. Let's see. Oh, there's a challenge on the inside. Glenn is challenged and passed there by the 71. Ryan McLeish goes through. Ryan McLeish never ever loses an opportunity to make a move through. Out front though is Michael Weddell in the 77, who's going to take the win. John T. Norman is in P2. Colin Atkinson has come through for 3rd place. We've still got this fighting going on. Ryan McLeish has come through and got ahead of Matthew Pape. The checkered flag is out. Matthew Pape is going to take 8th. Glenn Burtenshaw in 9th. And Jamie Blake completes the top 10 as we come up across the line. And that completes a superb day's racing here at Knockhill Circuit once again.
One word. It's going to be a simple one. It's fun. He was just such fun to be with, and he had fun.
44, 45, 6.
Fun. Yeah, definitely.
3rd overall with 410 points, Matthew Pape. Second overall with 430 points, Michael Weddell. And with 480 points, the sly old fox, Colin Atkinson. And the top rookie is Carlos Perez. And if everyone can have a look at the Driver of the Day trophy with the little additions. Can you guess who it's for? Yes. John T. Norman! No, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, we've had a few bumps, but all in all, the racing has been absolutely superb. If it wasn't for you guys, this meeting would have been crap. Thank you so much. We'll see you in Bonnie, Englandshire next time. Have a very safe journey home, and thanks again, folks. Thank you.